As the Biden administration grapples with the complex and contentious issue of immigration, President Joe Biden has increasingly pointed fingers at his predecessor, Donald Trump, for the challenges the current administration faces in addressing the nation's immigration woes. A surge in migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border, creating a contentious atmosphere, and raising questions about the effectiveness of current immigration policies. The issue of immigration has been a long-standing and contentious one in American politics. The Trump administration implemented a series of strict immigration policies, including the highly controversial family separation policy, which aimed to deter illegal border crossings. While these measures were praised by some for bolstering border security, they faced widespread criticism for their perceived cruelty and humanitarian concerns. Biden's promises and challenges. Upon taking office in January 2021, President Biden promised a more humane and compassionate approach to immigration. He swiftly moved to reverse several of Trump's policies, including ending the family separation practice and halting construction of the border wall. Biden's administration also introduced comprehensive immigration reform proposals, aiming to address the root causes of migration, create a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants, and modernize the immigration system. Blaming the Trump legacy. Despite these efforts, the Biden administration has faced numerous challenges, including a surge in the number of migrants at the southern border. President Biden has not shied away from attributing part of the blame for these difficulties to the policies enacted by the Trump administration. According to Biden, the dismantling of the existing immigration infrastructure and the erosion of relationships with Central American countries during the Trump era have made it harder for the current administration to effectively manage the situation. Biden argues that the Trump administration's focus on deterrence, rather than addressing the root causes of migration, has left the United States with a broken immigration system and strained relationships with key partners in the region. The Biden administration contends that the legacy of these policies has hindered their ability to implement swift and effective changes, contributing to the current challenges at the border. Republican response. Unsurprisingly, Republicans have pushed back against Biden's attempts to shift blame to the previous administration. They argue that the surge in immigration is a direct result of the perceived leniency of the Biden administration's policies. Republicans contend that by rolling back certain Trump-era measures, without providing effective alternatives, the Biden administration has inadvertently encouraged migrants to attempt the journey to the United States. Addressing the complex issue of immigration requires a multifaceted approach that combines border security measures with efforts to address the root causes of migration. Both the Biden and Trump administrations have emphasized the need for comprehensive immigration reform, albeit with different strategies and priorities. As the blame game continues between the current and former administrations, it is clear that a sustainable solution to the immigration challenge requires bipartisan cooperation and a focus on long-term policy changes. Whether the Biden administration can successfully navigate the intricacies of immigration policy and overcome the perceived obstacles inherited from the Trump era remains to be seen. In the meantime, the nation watches closely as the immigration debate unfolds, with the hope that constructive dialogue and effective policies will eventually prevail.